Greetings all, my name is JD from Studio 2105. Welcome back to my channel and a brand new episode of Weekly Update Wednesdays. In this week's video, I'm going to be answering a question on hi-hats, which are either too hard or sounding too harsh. If you are new to this channel, I want to welcome you. I want to give you a big shout out and thank you as usual to all the patrons who help to support the channel financially. A quick reminder, the signups for the Get Wrecked competitions are still on. If you are an independent act, whether you are a solo artist or a band, and you have an original song, do sign up for this audition and stand a chance to win a full recording and production package worth 5,000 ringgit. Details are going to be in the link below and also in the description. Meanwhile, if you are not yet a subscriber, please do click on the subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the notification bell as well so that you'll be updated every time I put out a brand new video. Do sign up for the email list, and if you want to become a patron, head on down to the website below. How do you soften hi-hats when they are hitting too hard? Unfortunately, this is probably going to be an issue that's got more to do with addressing the problem at the source instead of the other way, which is fixing the problem later. Without hearing the actual audio, all I can say is that this could be due to either 1. Bad drumming, 2. Bad selection of cymbals, or 3. Bad mic technique, gain structure and all that, or a combination of one or more of the above. Inexperienced drummers may not know how to balance their playing, oftentimes hit the cymbals or the hi-hats way too hard. They may not be employing proper technique, or striking with the appropriate part of the stick, for example, maybe too much on the shaft when the part, if you want a softer a hi-hat sound, you should be using the tip instead. Cheap cymbals are always gonna sound, metallic and clangy, and I suspect it is least likely, sometimes the incorrect mic placement and the mic preamp gain settings may cause some circuitry overloading and sounding harsh. So how does one fix the problem if re-recording is not an option? It'll probably require a combination of one or more techniques, but you never know, sometimes one gets lucky. Fortunately, cheap sounding cymbals are relatively easy to deal with, in my opinion. They tend to usually have very obvious ringy peaks at very specific frequencies, so a simple EQ notch can do the job. Now sometimes though, you want a gentler, a little bit more transparent treatment, especially maybe on the overhead mics. And in this case, a dynamic EQ, a multi-band compressor, or even a de-esser would be my choice. Now you can be a lot more aggressive with the close hi-hat mics, but this gets tricky with the overheads, because you might negatively affect the other parts, the snares, the toms, some of the other cymbals, if you process it aggressively. There are some awesome tools as well, some new modern tools that can help. Plugin which I love to use is Smooth Operator from Baby Audio. This also has another counterpart, which is also very popular. This is Soothe by Oak Sound. Another thing to consider is to use some sort of envelope processor, such as SPL's Transient Designer, or even the stock envelope shaper that comes in your DAW. Helping to sort of tame the transient, the attack portion of any sound, helps to contain much of the harshness as well. Now likewise, maybe a clean, transparent sounding compressor or limiter with a very fast attack, and release will also work. Although in general the methods I mentioned above involve clean, transparent processing, sometimes adding a bit of distortion, a bit of saturation, a little bit of character may be precisely what the doctor ordered. Tape emulation plugins such as Slate Digital's Virtual Tape Machine, Universal Audio's Pseudo Tape plugins as well, can help take the edge off any sound that's either too harsh or a little bit too bitey, right? An interesting one that I've used, right, recently, right, is tape. It's spelled as T-A-I-P on capitals from Baby Audio. It's got several ways to shape the audio, right? Besides, right, whatever the traditional, right, tape emulation plugins have. So it's another interesting one that I've been trying out as well. Having said all that though, all these methods are merely band-aids, right, to a problem that is source related. It's a cliche that's repeated a bit too often, but right, the truth is, prevention is always better than the cure. Now, identify the problem at the early stage and deal with it, right? This means selecting the right cymbal or selecting the right sounding hi-hat, telling the drummer, getting a drummer who, has got good balance. And if you get a drummer that's not so experienced, run them through it, point it out, right? Instruct them that, hey, you either need to hit softer or you need to, right, hit or strike the cymbals, right, with the correct stick technique to deliver a much more balanced sound. Do test recordings as well. Don't forget, right? Don't just jump into any recording session or any production. Do some test recordings first. Play it back, have a discussion with the client, have a discussion with the musicians, with the drummer, right? With the producer if you are not the one who's producing it, and to see whether it's sounding right or not in the fast place, right? It's better to always deal with these issues right at the start, at the beginning of production, instead of kind of just like sweeping it under the rug and then trying to deal with it later. So there you have it. This is a short one. Hopefully you found this useful and informative. Right? If you have any questions, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Please leave them down in the comment section below. A quick reminder again, right? Sign up for the Get Wrecked, the audition and the competition. Once again, if you're not yet a subscriber, please do click on the subscribe button. See you again in another video real soon. Stay safe, stay happy and healthy. Happy recording and mixing. Peace, love, and music.